Hello everyone! Today we're going to read the book, The Naughty Sheep. But you look at the picture, this is an apple tree farm and this is Mr. Bird. The farmer has two children called Poppy and Sam and a dog called Rusty. Now, do you know, I have some more questions for you to be the blend. So, do you have a blend in your farm, George? Okay, so on this land, most land in air, soil, water, and sunlight, these things are found in nature, and people did not make them. Okay, so on this picture, one kind people have only have natural rubber, and they are made from liquid found in some trees, and then the scientists found weight rubber, and then the labs, and this kind of rubber is called synthetic, and the rubber has resemble another kind of resource, and if found in nature, it made by the people who have on this story on the trees plant. So have the different kind of resource, like all the land will, just moving the fresh air and a fresh water. What kind of land and water on the earth? And draw a picture and people use land on community. But I want to show you the sentences that tell you a land forms. Some kind of land in the water. That's not really the water. It has a blend of mostly flat land in the most middle of the United States and is covered by the plains. Another plain found in the land along Atlantic and also in Mexico. But in this story, have somebody at the plant. Do not all pores or city like the plant. So now, on the farmer or raised land, animals dwell their climate. Builders thinks the climate when they are playing home, they are building. And also some job fits one climate, not another. But driving a snow plow is always like the almost climate. And now what's when people climb different in people do? During on the time your body eats them and the root and the leaves. But the climate are different the way when the people see the climate is different. Sometimes I often have experience about the plant. But when people who need to material reaction material warm air in the building and the car in the winter cold and they keep snow and cold. When you all have two different time net in the palm spring and the trees plant and the farmer is net, but explain the weather and climate is really late. And the picture shows climate at face where you live is laying during about it. So now I have some picture for you. The first one is on the farm. There are several sheep. Then the sheep live in a big field with a fence. When one sheep had the black eyes. Okay, so she called the Wortley. Look at the picture and show me if this animal is the invertebrate animal, a vertebrate animal. Some of these are really areas 1 and 2 sentences. Thriller idea thing on it. How about you think about the interview and the follow diation? Talk on interview about someone know or comments in the many animal that was we draw the person pass up tradition. And prepare your interview the question. You write the following: who, that, where, why, or what kind of. You practice on that. But remember, a government anchor, a constitution, even talking in areas. Sometimes you look the leader for independence from the famous scientists. Or you learned to work for independence of it. But smallest one on the sheet. How about competing show about when you are learned everything and thanks color test. And now the United States and Americans Now, do you think the government mesh in Washington D.C. leader with the laws and discipline? Not. You can look at the picture. Local, state, or national governments have laws and a police. We often have the government laws. They tell the brick law on the picture or page. The door already happened. And you can explore how to use earth resource every day. Now, what you do? Make a chart about use the water, air, and the plant, animal, and the rocks. Write down in your chart, please. And so now, did you know where I come from? Many people know sheep. Use the word about the sheep or the goats to get wool, and some people get wool from other animals. Scientists had to collect letters from people around the world, and scientists learn how people in other countries get wool. And just I'm not talking at a problem, and this picture I'll show you what the earth gives us. How what the earth gives us? Now, it gives you soil useful the resource, and tiny bits some plant and animal become the part of soil when they die, and new plant grow from the soil and use the plant clothing and building material. What kind of rock everywhere, and rock can have the top of the mountain, but it has hills down here. This is farm yard, and below your feet and rock made of minerals, and the minerals help plant grow. Now, the next page. The next. Woodley is bored. This to be a leader historian. But then, where I'll learn Woodley stopped eating and looked over the fence grass, he said. Nothing but the grass is boring. So now you look at the picture. Now, nature give us many resources. The sun, the wind, the water and the rocks, and the plant, animal, just some of them. We have protect our earth by using only what we need. Don't litter, because if you do not find a way to resource something, try reduce, reuse, and recycle. You have to make this world better place to live. If you don't know about it, you can tell me. I want to show you many theater about history and what is the matter when the Woodley stop in eating over the fence grass. Matter is anything that take up the space, have many mass, and all the mass amount to the matter in an object. The water that you drink is matter. The air you breathe is matter, and matter can national or made by people use matter every day, and have the different object have a different amount of the mass. Have the truck. You have the truck a lot of book mass of flour. Yes, up. You do the balance commission on past pair. Well, so the describing matter. The next one. Where did they run out the gate? Now, Woodley went out the gate, and the run out of the field into the farm yard. And he ran through another gate in the gutter. What happened in the story? When you describe the matter, you describe matter and how talking the property and the property and how the matter look, feel, smell, taste, sound, and matter can feel the smoke, rough, and soft or hard, and matter can think of thin, and matter can living and non-living. And there are many ways we talk about the matter and the solid, liquid, and gas. What are property and around you and sheep? What happened in it? But will not often eat. My classmate about had a lunchtime and toilet tour or focus and the skill. I don't know about the good way in different cabinet. But what haven't tried it? Look at the picture. Something on it and some made by people, and you see display data in the bar graph. How many things in the picture were made by people? What kind of Jordan record of that? Now, the nest. Now, Woodley sees lots to eat in the garden. She chests some of the flour, Very good, she says, and much prettier than grass. So now, how about the solid? How about solid? When you all have all different kind of garden, you look at the picture. Do you see that? Well, what kind of matter do you see around you? A solid, because it's a kind of matter that have the shape and its own, like all the matter, solid and the property in some event, other thing. Rock and the glass of your example for you. So yes, I have the rock. The rock with silver and speck jack, and the glass. Well, the glass smooth, brick able and clear, and yarn soft, colorful, long and thin. And so we have different materials. Some material was and plastic and hard. Yeah, preparation solid. Look at this. You choose the solid, the real until long wide amount material. How much thing you move and nature by the people. You look at the flower, the next one. Now, the chairs. I have some example suggestions. This is my chair. It made a word. The word it is cut out of trees, and the shape word make the chair. Okay, it's a good thing. And this chair made in a plastic made by people. People combine chemical to create plastic. They are shaped on molds. There are different kinds and color. The plastic then become the color. Now, put in the container on the tray. Make sure to be some materials such as the cups and pour the first container and mark the water stops. Spread it high with the same amount of water to another container. Then repeat for each container. For draw conclusion where your prediction correct is laying. So you do activity instead of the water, and why we're not. You have good and some of the most flower and everything. Another one, a good environment, having the air, sunlight, water. How about the sheep who may all bite of it? But what is the liquid? First, liquid in this picture is how liquid. This is the first liquid of here. Do you see that? So well, you showed me about it. Make sure you carefully about it, please. Now, liquid is a kind of matter that take the shape of the container. It is in without a container liquid flow and have no shape. All of it will have the mass and liquid thins like milk or thick about the honey. This amount of space something take up a called volume. You can measure the volume of the liquid and measuring cup and liquid and measure the milliliter and all in the container in the same amount. The one container is holding the greater volume for another. For the vet experience in the gas. How about the gas? It has the gas of here, I have the air. Air is a gas. Because a gas is a kind of matter that has breath, feel, and space in it. The air we breathe is made of many gas. Oxygen is one of the gas we breathe. We cannot see the gas in the air, but they are around us. We can tell gas, whether they are fuel, or balloon, or the beach ball. We can feel air moving on a windy day, but remember all the matter space how that you see in the picture. Funny with all the water and you looking funny sheep. Well, so now what do they have a lot to eat in the garden? The test one to taste some of the flower very gas, she says, and must be prettier than the grass. And the next one, can you see the Whitley work? She work around the garden, eating a lot of flower. And she said, I like the flowers. She said, how about you look I have something small, writing with smirns. Fun with the water because I look similar like the sheep because sheep around the garden she eat a lot of flour. It's very good. She said very good. And just I'm a girl. I'm having fun with the water. Enjoy the water. Amazing. You write about. You think about how the Jews had more villain and the change of the stage. How can you cheat the stage? What do you think about it? You look and show me your game when all the water boil. You're changing gas in the water. You're lost. You see a lot of vapor. So Mr. Boss sees Woodley in the garden. What are going in my garden? She shouts. You're eating my flower, you nasty sheep. Mr. Booth is very cross. It's a show today. She said it was going to pick my best flower for just look at them. The first picture is so and this is Miss Booth and she is angry and she is shout very quiet, very loudly. She wanted to show and retrain on it and a melting. Now, how about the melting mean? A changing or so to liquid and to be a big electric. Maybe you're carefully about it, but make sure. Melting means changing from solid to liquid, and some solids like gold and glass will only melt when they are very hot, and all the liquid and ice better on melt temperature. And water can change gas, it hates it. Evaporating means from liquid the gas air going into the air. And you see the bubble show that vapor is not really. Because she taken on the time, well, forever. It is time for the show. Come on, says Poppy. We must go now. The show starts soon. It's only just down the road. They all walked down the road. Woodley was them go. She chose her flower and things. I'd like to go to show. Now, how about how many cooling change the matter? Well, all the matter will change the cooling. It talk away heat. The heartbeat in the mosquitoes will mean to change. And when they are cold, condensed means to change from a gas to a liquid. And water vapor in the air condensed in cool object. When liquid cools, solid was and water need colder to freeze. And they worked out when they are don't know about. But you can see the color and creation, technology in it. Now, see how many different kind of color inside a crayon box. On the most crayons, and the was just this sheet look like crayons. You see so funny in it. But make sure you carefully when you want to tell some word. You have the habitat in the place where the plant and animal lives, but all the parents and have found time unit and a predator, all living thing. Like I can figure this out. Nor connect unkind heart on in the stick. An animal also eat one kind animal heart eats mice, rabbit and frog and snake. You puzzle chain food together have food web. Woodley goes to show. Woodley runs down the road. Soon she comes a big field with a lot of people in it. So Woodley go into the ring to push past the people and into the field. She stopped a man on a white coal. Now, it is so funny in this story here. And then, what's the main idea too? Use what you know. Hark me describe habitat and fruit wet. A frog need always be melt. Jar the wet blaze. For the lunch on, having chicken sandwich. So remember skip. You have a soul problem. Think about whether you need to add subtract problem solving. 3 grasshopper Monday, 88. 5 ants on Tuesday. 4 cricket on Wednesday. How many animals did taught it all and attract representation in a mathematical idea in order to solve problem? A modern mathematical idea and communicate solution strengths. And you understand various representation, script, and nasal data measurement. About 1 to so. So now, Mr. Bull finds her. What are you doing here, Woodley? Said Miss Booth. She has just won a prize, said the man. Woodley is the winner. This cup is for the best sheep, said the man. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, says Mr. Booth. We just have put to show you making a scatter problem, and all living things depend on the habitat plan and which is received for and when plan for other land and living food chain net. But mixture different habitat provides a different way the living thing get the need for habitat and blend the animal to buy the animal eat blend some animal eats different kind of fruit. Just on the best sheep, but it is special sheep. It is called slit of soil and clay, sandy for the other makeup. Describing each in compost, mixed with blend animal describe it on a season dries and explore maggot. And it is special sheep with just a part jerk. Now, it is time to go home. Come on, Woodley, said Mr. Booth. We'll take you back your field, you nasty, clever sheep. Now, you can polish an American throughout otherwise without the Polar Commission. Reaction to the intense and goals to look at turned. Exploring the earth when throughout a good experience sheep. And this story is the end. I hope you learned many things about story, some of the words